It's Women's History Month, and did you know only 18% of head winemakers in the U.S. are women? Wine and travel expert Daniela Garrido is here to talk about the women behind the wine brands so you can support this month. Daniela, thank you so much for joining us here on Live in the Bay.
Thanks so much for having me. I am so excited to talk about women and wine. I think when you really think about winemaking, it is such a rigorous job to have. You really got to roll up your sleeves, you got to put on that hat, you got to put on those boots, you got to be out there in the field. And then when you also just think about women in business, that's also tough. So whether you're a head winemaker or you're a founder in the wine industry that is very much male dominated, you're out there, you're representing, you're paving the way, you're a trailblazer. So I'm really excited because all of these on the table are Sonoma-based winemakers or founders that are women behind these labels.
I love that we get to shout out some women today who are doing the best in the wine industry here in the Bay Area. So let's start with this one. What do we have here?
So I always like to start with the sparkling wine. This is what I say every time I come on the show, but here we have J Vineyards Cuvée 20, and this is gonna be a very delicate brew, and you could grab it right there in that very, really beautiful flute. And this is the work of head winemaker at J Vineyards, Nicole Hitchcock. She was actually also named 2022's Winemaker of the Year. So like in the industry, that's huge. That's a big recognition. And she's always talked about like the industry is moving in the right direction, but it's not only for women, it's also for people of diverse backgrounds to be in leadership positions and be head winemakers. And she always also talks about she really appreciates the interplay with wine and food. So this brew is gonna be really good to pair with like just elevating a charcuterie board if you're gonna be celebrating Women's Month with some of your girls. This is a great bottle to up and up for that. But it's also just a great bottle. It has those notes of toasted almond. So almond. So you're definitely gonna wanna, open it up maybe with some shellfish too, some prawns and things of that sort.
Yeah, yum. Okay, I'm gonna take a little sip here. Let's cheers.
Cheers.
And so smells delicious. I love a sparkling as well.
Yes.
I feel like it really just gets the party started.
It does, it does. I really do and I love J Vineyards in general. If you're heading up to Sonoma County, a really good experience there. Another great experience.
Cheers, this is delicious.
We have McCrosty Vineyards here. I absolutely love McCrosty. I'm actually not a winemaker. I am a wine club. One day, that would be so great. I am a wine club member at McCrosty, and this is the work of Heidi Breidenhagen. She is only the third winemaker in the brand's storied history. And so she was actually mentored by Steve McCrosty himself, and she really helped elevate the Pinot Noir grape for the brand. So they're known for their Chardonnays. They have world-class Chardonnays. She did a small lot Pinot Noir and did this with it. And it's just, the programming has gone up from there.
Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of this one. And then what would this be good to pair with, this Pinot Noir?
So a Pinot, this is kind of like a cool climate Pinot. So you could pair it with really anything, I love to open Pinots on their own. That would be my recommendation. Just really savor, especially a wine like McCrosty.
This is delicious. It's so light and really just like wakes up my palate.
Yes.
I'm ready. This feels like something you can drink all day long. Very easy.
Cool climate Pinots, the way to go.
Love that.
And we're gonna amp it up a bit. So here we have a 2019 Merlot, and I absolutely love the story behind this brand. This is Sutro Wines up in Sonoma County, and it is founded by Alice Warnick Sutro. Her story is really special. So she was actually an art history major.
Wow.
She grew up on her family's ranch, Warnick Ranch, right on the Russian River in Alexander Valley. And she definitely grew up, in agriculture. She knew about it, but she was destined to be an artist. So she was like, I'm gonna study art history, but she always felt kind of called back to her home and the ranch that her family owned. So even though it's a generations old ranch, she's the first one in her family to produce and sell wines from their property.
Wow, yeah. I love that.
So I really do love that story. And this is gonna be, big, bold, powerful. And it's because they have volcanic soils right there on the Russian River.
Okay, well, cheers. I'm gonna take a sip of this one.
And also just wanna mention that they are appointment only winery, but right now, especially during wildflower season, I think you mentioned the flowers, definitely a good time to get up there to Sonoma County, and they do a really Sonoma County signature hike and wine tasting. So if you're looking for something different, not just tasting wines, but you wanna go on a hike, you wanna see the ranch, you wanna see the property, and maybe see Alice roll up her sleeves and get out there, that's a good experience for you.
I love that. I love that they incorporate something else to do outside of the wine. So it kind of draws another group of people that would be interested in kind of doing both. So I love that.
Exactly.
This was delicious. Cheers.
Cheers.
That was beautiful. Okay, and so then what do we have here?
So last but not least, we have Nomatica wines. And I've had Nomatica on my segments before, but what I really love about Nomatica, it's founded by Kristen Olszewski. I hope I'm not saying that wrong, but by Kristen Olszewski, and she is a somm. You know, so these are, it's funny because people have this idea of canned wine, right? But this is sommelier curated, it's sustainably sourced, and their whole thing is that there's 0 grams of sugar. Also, they're very focused on eco-friendly production. So up here, you'll kind of see that it says, like, by choosing this box, so they actually just came out with boxed wine, like last week.
Wow.
So we're seeing it for the first time here, probably. But over here, you just really like push something that says like press here for wine, and then this pops out and you just have boxed wine. So we're bringing boxed wine back, but if you look at the top of the box, it actually says, by choosing this box, you've reduced carbon footprint by 84%.
Anytime you can do some good and also drink wine, it's a win-win. I love that.
Exactly.
And a somm doing wine in a can. I don't think those are words that you ever thought anyone would say. So that's incredible. And one thing I also love about this, the artwork on the cans. It's beautiful. On the box, it's beautiful. So I'm going to take a sip of this.
Let me know what you think. So that is their viral-worthy orange wine. I mean, this is all over TikTok, all over Instagram.
Wow.
The orange, and you know, the orange wine trend is really taking off. It's different, but it's taking off. And they also do sparkling, they do red, they do traditional white, so you can get a little bit of anything that you're looking for.
This is really good. I would say I'm not usually I don't usually gravitate towards orange, but it's so light and it's just delicious and crisp. Wow, all of these were incredible ones.
And these come in 4-packs, the cans, but the boxed wine actually holds 4 bottles. 4 bottles.
Okay, that's very like on the go. You get a lot on the go. I'm gonna put that back down.
Yes.
Daniela, thank you so much for sharing all of these wonderful women in wine that are right here in Sonoma County. I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Cheers.
Cheers to you.